Kate Middleton speaks out. Cancer recovery is a roller coaster. So Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, made her most significant public appearance since announcing her cancer remission in January. During a quiet visit to Colchester Hospital, RHS Wellbeing Garden, she planted a new blush pink rose and spoke carefully, calling recovery a roller coaster and hinting at a new normal. But as headlines praised her poise, others looked deeper, raising questions about vagueness, timing, and whether symbolism is enough in 2025 climate of public accountability. The visit, unannounced until the very morning of July 2nd, was positioned as a private, meaningful return to public life. Kate appeared in a tan blazer, smiling warmly, planting the first of 50 Catherine's rose bushes, each destined for community healing spaces. She spoke with frontline NHS staff, patients in remission, and discussed music, mental health, and the role of nature in healing. Yet, even in her most emotional remarks, she kept a noticeable distance from personal details, never using I or referencing her diagnosis directly. Her comments were reflective but vague. She said, "You put on a brave face. You have to find your new normal." It's a communication style consistent with Palace strategy, saying emotionally safe, using collective language, and leaning on universal themes. But some cancer survivors and advocacy groups have expressed frustration, wishing the princess would speak more candidly about the type of cancer, treatment process, or recovery details, which could help countless others navigating their own battles. As expected, the media spun the story in every possible direction. Left-leaning outlets focus on the emotional toll, headlining it as a life-changing ordeal and highlighting how difficult recovery has been. Right-leaning tabloids call her appearance radiant, praised her linen suit, and celebrated the moment as a symbol of stoic courage. Reuters and other centric wires stuck to neutral facts, quoting her use of roller coaster and noting her connection to the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity. But while media framed the visit as either courageous or comforting, others looked deeper. Yes, Kate's rose planting was beautiful. Yes, her return to a quiet engagement without the pomp and fanfare was tasteful. But where is the action behind the symbolism? Critics have asked why, since her diagnosis, there has been no major awareness campaign, collaboration with oncology experts, or focused message on the specific cancer affecting young women, especially as late-stage diagnoses continue to rise. Some skeptics suggest this appearance had more to do with PR repair than genuine engagement, especially after her conspicuous absence from high-profile events like Royal Ascot. With Wimbledon approaching, the Palace may be using the Colchester visit to pave the way for more public outings because she has to go to Wimbledon. And unfortunately, the Palace's tightly controlled communications, especially the barely audible audio from Kate's speech, haven't helped build trust. And why did they have caption? I know, Kate, please go and do something about this. At this stage, 14 maybe years in the Royal Palace, the future queen, you should know by now to speak more eloquently. Why is it that they have to have caption when you talk? Why is it that you mumble your way all through your conversation most of the time? You need to do better. And I'm going to, if it's one critique I'll continue to have, is that you're not elevating yourself. You're not doing things to make yourself better. And it's starting to show. It is going to become more pronounced, especially as you move up in the ranks. It's going to be obvious. Use the time that you're taking off because you're not working. You're taking off a long period of time. You only come out when you feel like. We know you want to go to Wimbledon, and maybe that's why this PR move happened. But at least come out properly. Go and do some classes. Go and elevate yourself. It needs to stop. It is very obvious.
Through treatment, you put on sort of brave face, stoicism through treatment. Treatment's done.
Yeah.
So I think I can't get back to normal again, but actually the phase afterwards is really, is a really difficult journey. You're not necessarily in a clinical team any longer, but you're not able to function normally at home as you perhaps once used to.
And I'm going to say this as well. Kate looks very frail. She looks thin. So something is happening. We don't know what it is. We won't speculate. But yes, it would be a teachable moment if she was able to tell people what it is that she's experiencing. You don't have to go through all the details, but at least let people know this is a type of cancer. This is how I am dealing with it. This is how I've dealt with it. Other women out there could learn from it. There are so many people that have some serious cancer and that use it, that talk about it, and they try and they help other people to go and check themselves. Maybe you were healthy at one day and then you just went to the doctor and they gave you this devastating news. It's a devastating news. And the many mixed messages that coming out of the palace, that is what's causing the confusion, because remember, they told us it was preventative chemotherapy. If it's preventative, that means she didn't have cancer, right? Because that is what you do to prevent cancer from happening. So some mixed messages is going on there that they need to clear up. She told us that she was in remission. Then she's telling us that, she's dealing with this daily. It's not adding up. And I'm not saying if you have cancer or if you're going to remission, maybe you don't have symptoms or someday you're good, someday you're bad. That's fine. But let it be a moment where you can teach people or help people that's going through the same type of cancer to help themselves. Right now, this is not what they are doing. They are playing with people's emotion. Every minute, every 2 months, they come out and they say, it's not working. They're in remission. They're good. Things are good. And the next minute you hear they're using it. It's almost like they're using it as this wedge. And at some point, it's going to become annoying to the public, right? Because what is it about? Do you have cancer? Do you don't? What is it? So you have to be careful. These are not something that you play with. So you have to know what you're doing, right? So unfortunately, guys, the palace tightly control communications, especially the barely audible. Remember to talk about that audio from Kate's speech haven't helped build trust. Instead, the public is left relying on royal correspondence to interpret, clean up, and spin every sentence on her behalf. To be clear, recovery is personal. We know that. No one should be forced to share more than they're comfortable with. Kate Middleton, or rather the Princess of Wales, has the right to protect her privacy. But in this age of public service and transparency, trust is built not through perfectly planted roses, but through real stories and meaningful action. The flowers are lovely, but the public wants roots. Let's hope this careful return blossoms into something much deeper. And let's hope we don't hear something down the road, because it always seems to be this regurgitating thing. It's just annoying. But yes, guys, that's what I wanted to bring you. We have to stop. Kate, you guys have to stop. It cannot be every month you have these people in a turn. This month you're better, next month you're bad. And it's the same cancer thing being used over and over and over and over again as a wedge. It has become a wedge issue. So just be careful what you're doing, because people are catching on and people are talking about it. The streets are talking. So just be careful. So bye, guys.